Just really quickly before I start, could all the neurologists in the audience raise their hand? And I'm kind of a little bit nervous about that because I think most of about what I'm going to say is true, but they would know the pieces that aren't. But I wanted to reflect really quickly with everybody on the human brain. And if you just truly immerse yourself for a second in how spectacular it is, and all the things that it can do, and none of us can truly comprehend the brain itself. Think of it from the standpoint of the information that it stores, everything you've ever seen in your life, everything you've ever done, everything you've ever heard, every song, it's all in there. I have a hard time remembering a lot of them, but it's there. The ability to put the right information in the right place at the right time so you can react, so you can anticipate, so you know not to touch something that's hot. Really powerful stuff. Apply to it the concept of neuroplasticity, and this is really important because this is what relates to what you're going to see shortly. But neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to dynamically morph itself and form connections between data that exist in the brain or information that's there so that you can actually do something good with it. I don't know if it's easily explained. Maybe it doesn't happen as much for everybody, but the whole point of being able to happen on the fly dynamically is pretty powerful. If you think of what information looks like in a business, it's everywhere. It's in the accounting systems, the manufacturing systems, it's in email. The amount of information that's in email, it probably answer every question in the company, but you can't get it. So the idea of being able to take the concept of neuroplasticity, if you could put that into a business, it dynamically starts to morph. It learns. It knows what it needs to do to put pieces of information together. It can get them. It can do it in a way that you don't always have to tell it to do it, but it can anticipate and learn. If you could put that in a business, what kind of communication would you have? What kind of competitive advantage would you have? So my name's Jeff Lloyd. I am a founder and a partner in Centric Consulting, and I, over the last 15 years, have had the luxury of working with one of the smartest people I've ever known. His name is Marc Johnson. Marc, on top of just being a great father and a great husband, a great coach, just a great human being, is a spectacular entrepreneur. He's always been an entrepreneur as long as I've known him, as long as I've worked with him. Marc he's the chief architect, the founder and the CEO of TeamCentral, which is the equivalent of this neuroplasticity concept. So I'd like to welcome Marc Johnson.
Hello?
No pressure.
No pressure. All I got to do is build a brain. Thank you, Jeff. Jeff's a great friend of mine and mentor for a long time. The core technology that we're building we call intelligent search. At its basic level, it helps a business connect all the enterprise systems that they use to operate their business. We think about it a lot differently than most integration products that are on the market today. We want the tool to learn over time and take that learning and then be able to provide for a person or their team relevant information to help them do their job more efficiently or even kind of automate certain tasks. We're going to get into that in a lot more detail, but first a little bit about myself. My name is Marc Johnson. I'm the founder and CEO of TeamCentral. For the last 20 years of my life, I've been a technology consultant, providing solutions to help people be more productive at work. It's what I love to do. Centric Consulting is my first customer and also proving ground for TeamCentral. They're a fast-moving global consulting organization with over 700 plus employees. Throughout the years, as Centric Consulting has grown, they've done what most businesses do. They purchase software solutions in order to run their business. So HR, payroll, accounting, sales and marketing, all great cloud-based independent solutions, all selected for good reason, but the issue is none of this information is connected. What ends up happening is you start to have pockets of information that sprout up everywhere. Your core employee, customer, project information, it just gets spread everywhere. And what happens is it's just really difficult to find information. If you look at a specific example of a request for a proposal or an RFP. If you've ever done an RFP, it's a very time-intensive task. It usually requires multiple people to be involved across multiple pieces of your organization. If the right information that you need in order to create that RFP isn't accessible, it's very frustrating for your employees. An RFP is just one of many examples that I could talk about here tonight. In a recent study done by McKinsey, it was found that 20% of employees' time each week is spent looking for information. That's nearly one full day of productivity each week. For a consulting company like Centric Consulting, that's probably going to be lost billable hours or some type of lower quality of life for their employees. And that is why we are launching TeamCentral. At its core, TeamCentral is a bot. It works behind the scenes and breaks down all those silos of information that are spread across all of your enterprise systems, buried inside employees' laptops. But what it does is it learns what's relevant to your team over time. Things like, what projects are you currently working on? What opportunities are you selling? What roles, interests do you have in the organization? What skills do people have? It then takes those learnings and it provides assistance to you and your team so that you can, get help with everyday common tasks that you have to do and really fill in communication gaps within your organization as you grow. So everyone on your team is on the same page. It's very important. One of the first apps that we're building on top of TeamCentral is, no surprise, a proposal creation tool. I want you to meet Taylor. She's a senior consultant who just received a very large RFP from a new client. With TeamCentral, we want to make the process as easy as possible for Taylor and her team. Step one, Taylor's going to do what she's always done. She's just going to upload the RFP to her sales system. TeamCentral is going to start working behind the scenes. It detects that RFP was updated. It starts searching for Taylor. It finds past proposals, case studies, white papers, most importantly, subject matter experts that can help Taylor build the RFP. Step two, it's going to create a workspace for Taylor and her team so that they can collaborate in one spot in the RFP. They're not have to be dependent on clogging up their inbox, and it pre-populates that workspace with all the content that it found for her. Step three, once that RFP is complete, TeamCentral is going to assist Taylor to route the RFP to the appropriate people to get signatures. Oh, wow. TeamCentral can fix this. Okay? Start working, TeamCentral. Where's my bot when I need it? I hope I didn't do this. I could do stand-up or something. I don't know if I have any good jokes, though. There we go. So the main point is TeamCentral wants to make this as frictionless as possible for Taylor and her team so they can focus on what's most important, the value added of creating a great solution for their client. And that's really what TeamCentral is focused on. The technology that's driving our solutions is broken into three main categories. The first, what we call our data sync technology. That's what we started on first. That's what's keeping all those systems in sync across all the core employee, customer, and project information. The second piece is what we call our search and notifications bot. That was that piece that was working behind the scenes for Taylor and her team, finding that relevant information, providing it to her, and even giving her alerts for tasks and things that it thinks that she should be doing. And finally, a concept that we call micro apps. That's what the user actually interacts with and sees. Very pinpoint solutions to a very targeted problem, like creating a proposal. We're deploying these micro apps into a very personalized dashboard for our customers, but also embedded inside existing tools like Office 365, G Suite, and Slack. Our revenue model is based on a philosophy of keeping things as simple as possible for the customer. We make money. It's a SaaS-based model by selling TeamCentral in its full version plus 3 data sources for a yearly or monthly subscription fee. If you want additional data sources, you can purchase those for an additional monthly or yearly subscription fee. And then we also, in some cases, do custom integrations for an agreed-upon price. The idea that we have around Market is to make this a very industry-specific solution. We're focusing out of the gate mainly on professional services businesses because it's what I know best. If you look at the management consulting space alone in and around portal technology, it's about a $700 million market. We're going to own each of these markets, learn from them, and then go on to the next market, making a really big market. The way in which we measure our competition is based on three key metrics: how intelligent and integrated is the solution, and how easy it is to implement. In comparison to the competition, TeamCentral is the only thing that checks all three boxes. We wrote the first line of code for TeamCentral in November 2016. We launched our data sync technology within our first customer in March of 2017. We launched our first micro app, which is a pretty basic news feed, a couple months ago, and we just started work with our second pilot customer. You already heard a lot about me. The rest of my team is Ben Millhouse. He's our lead UI developer. He's one of the best web and JavaScript developers I've ever worked with. Larry English, who's the president and founder of Centric Consulting, and then Jeff, who you heard from today, who's founder of the Cincinnati practice of Centric Consulting. Kind of in closing, successful businesses are connected. If you look at every department within a business, accounting, sales, marketing, customer project, any type of delivery or customer service, they're all dependent on each other in order to be successful. We live in a day and age where data is an essential part of that connective tissue that keeps an organization connected. If that data is not accessible or even wrong, it's a real barrier to growing and scaling your business. TeamCentral is an essential tool for businesses going forward in order to connect. If you run or know of a company that's growing and scaling, maybe having some growing pains in terms of communication and wiring all their enterprise systems together, I know that we can help. Please reach out to me on any one of these channels or come and grab me after the show. My name is Marc Johnson, and this is TeamCentral. Thank you.